Bye.
Good evening, comrades and friends. All the speeches just get better and better. I'm sure I'll bring that to an abrupt halt. I was delighted to hear that Richard gave the preamble, taking his oath. We did that 5 years ago in the Scottish Parliament. 2 of us did it. And I have to say that the influence on me was my comrade Elaine Smith, who's been in the Parliament since 1999. Is an outstanding socialist. She's now the Deputy Presiding Officer of the Parliament. And she has taken that oath every single time against pressure from the party and people outside and all the rest of it. So we did it then, and I would encourage more people to do it. Can I say, the left can be our greatest enemies of ourselves. And I think we're starting off today. We saw John McDonnell make that outstanding speech. But we're setting John up for a fall today. Can I tell you why? That leaflet was 2D in 1945, and now it's 2 quid. The Daily Mail tomorrow will have a headline: McDonnell in power in the Shadow Chancellor post for 2 weeks, inflation at 10 zillion%. So let's just be careful of how we do things. Can I also say, I was interested in Ian's appeal for all the groups of the left to come together. I've got a friend in Scotland, Jim Monaghan, who's a poet, and he has one of the best poems ever. I have to get it on the LRC website. And it's all about all the different left factions and how we've always fought with each other about things over the years. And the conclusion to his poem is magnificent. It says, "There is nothing more divisive than a call for left-wing unity." But we can unite now. We can unite now because we've got something to unite around. That's the difference. Can I also say I'm very pleased I heard Richard making the comment about Scotland and that flags don't build houses and flags don't renationalise the railways and all the rest of it. I'm delighted because that's twice today I've heard the lines that we gave John McDonnell and Jeremy for their speeches, and I hope I hear them tomorrow again. Can I say also, it has been a pleasure over the last couple of months to observe politics. I was the chair of Jeremy's campaign in Scotland. And what a campaign it was. What a campaign it was. It won because it gave vision, it gave hope, it had ideas, and it had principles to change our economy and our society, rejecting austerity, promoting peace, promoting fairness, justice, equality and solidarity. The principles this party was founded upon is why he won that election. We packed out meetings in Aberdeen, in Dundee, in Edinburgh, and in Glasgow. And if you saw that comedy show called Panorama, where it did the profile of the Corbyn campaign, what a scandalous programme that was. You would have saw us singing Bandiera Rossa and Harama Valley at Glasgow at the end of that meeting. And what a meeting it was. The only problem was Owen Jones knew none of the words to the song. But now, I think the biggest thing we can do is we will now see the Labour Party back as the party of public services again. Because it's public services that are the civilising force in our society. If we didn't have them, if we actually think about what public services do, they educate our children, they look after the sick, they care for our elderly, they keep our communities safe and clean. If we didn't have them, then we would be living in a dog-eat-dog world, the law of the jungle, the survival of the fittest, and to hell with those who don't have the money to pay for those services. But we don't, and we shouldn't live in such a society. Because we need a society that educates, that cares, that nurtures, and a society that's compassionate, and a society that's peaceful. And to build that society, we need an economy that funds these good quality public services that we all want to see. So, we have to see progressive taxation. That those with the broadest shoulders, like me as an MSP and the MPs and people who have got money, carry the greatest burden, and so we should. And we need to end that scandal that John spoke about today of corporate tax avoidance. Theft by any other name. In a banking and financial system that represents and works for the interests of working people, not the spivs, the speculators, and people who do strange things to dead animals. And if I look at Scotland, some politicians in Scotland are very skilled at rewriting history. They would have you believe that nationalists are the champions of public services. They would have you believe, Salmon told us recently, that Nicola Sturgeon was the heir to Nye Bevan. Now there's a man who can't see a molehill without declaring that he's just seen Mount Everest. But let me tell you this about what the nationalists are doing. They're savaging our council services with greater cuts than Osborne would even introduce. They've cut 140,000 college places for our young people. They're reducing the police service to a hollowed out shell. They rejected Labour amendments to extend the living wage, and they're calling for even greater corporate tax cuts than Osborne and Cameron. So, we need to reject that. And we need to reject what Professor Prim Seeker calls the organised humiliation of working people and what other people call austerity. Because that's what it is. John said it today. It's a political choice. That's what it is. So we need growth, not cuts, lower welfare bills by creating jobs for people, decent jobs for people, a mass house building programme to create those jobs and give people a home, an investment back to investing in the civilising public services that our society relies on. And I have to say, finally, that over 2 weeks ago, Jeremy got the biggest mandate any Labour leader has ever had, given to him by us, the members. The members who, election after election, knock on doors, deliver the leaflets, raise the funds to get MPs in the parliamentary party elected again and again and again. And I say to my friends and comrades in the PLP, get the toys back in the pram. Respect the members. And get on. Let's build that alternative society, that alternative economy. And I want to say one very final thing. Some people wanted Jeremy on the ballot paper and thought it would be a result not to be last. We have to be honest with ourselves. And some people wanted him on the ballot paper, and then when he won, are getting a bit nervous. Can I say to you folks, we're on this planet once. This is our opportunity. Get our heads up. Get our confidence back. Let us take the rest of the movement with us. We believe. Keep the faith. Let's go forward.